when we see a painting, even if it doesn't have a signature of the painter, we know obviously there was a painter because we have a painting. If you've got a beautifully cooked meal, even if the cook themselves didn't bring it out to you and say, hey, I'm the one who cooked all that, you know that someone cooked it because you've got a beautifully cooked meal. And when we look around ourselves and we look at flowers blossoming and trees giving fruit and sunrises and sunsets and all of that which we see, it's very clear that this has been created. And if it's been created, then by definition there is a creator. Like if you have a painting, you have a painter. If you have a meal, you have a cook. You have a sculpture, so you have a sculptor. In the same way, we have a creation. Therefore, we have a creator. And so when you ask what is God, there's different ways we can think about it. And the reason is that the word God in English is one word, whereas in Sanskrit, for example, we have, I'm just going to say God only knows. We have God only knows so many different words for God that are not just different synonyms for the same divine reality, but that are actually different aspects. So for example, we speak about Brahman, meaning the eternal supreme reality, meaning that which pervades everything. If you study Vedanta, especially Advaita Vedanta, it's rooted in the principle that there is nothing but God. Everything else is an illusion. The concept of Maya arises from this belief that all that is real and true is God. Everything else is an illusion. So that's one way of speaking about God, is this supreme reality, infinite reality, nameless, formless. Of course, can take an infinite number of forms because is infinite. But that there is nothing but God. Everything is just an illusion of form. A way of thinking about that is an ocean with waves. If you imagined that we had only one infinite ocean rather than, 7 different oceans. One ocean, no land, nothing breaking up the ocean, just an infinite ocean. Well, in that ocean, you have waves that arise. When we say illusion, we don't mean optical illusion, but an illusion meaning even when a wave arises, the highest truth of that wave, even as a wave, its highest truth is ocean. If you look at a drop or a spoonful of wave under a microscope, it's ocean. No scientist looks at it and says, oh yeah, this is wave. It's ocean. So on that level of God is, what is God? Well, the answer to that would be, what isn't God? There is nothing that isn't God. Everything is God. But then we also think of God as the creator. In the Hindu tradition, that is Brahma, the creator, as distinguished from Vishnu, the sustainer, Shiva, the energy of disillusion. People say destruction, but destruction has all of this negative component attached to it, and it isn't negative. It's disillusion so that the cycle can continue. So that's another aspect of God. God is the creator. God is the sustainer. God is the dissolver. When you say it in English, though, if this were in Hindi or Sanskrit, and you had a question that said, who or what is Brahma, or who or what is Vishnu, or who or what is Shiva, or who or what is Brahman, you would know exactly what they meant. Like, which aspect of the divine are you being asked about? But in English, when we just say God, could be any of those aspects. So, on the deepest and highest level, there is nothing but God. But then we have all of the energies of the divine. There's energies of creation, energies of sustenance, energies of dissolution. Which of course again means God is everything. That which creates, that which is created. Because of course, as it said so beautifully, we are not created just by the Creator, but of the Creator. And so what is God? God is us. God is everything. And it's such an extraordinary way to move through the world with this idea that everything is God. Whether you think of God as just the supreme reality, or even if you just think of God as the creator, well, still everything is God. Everything's been created. Which means, of course, that everything is sacred. Whether you think of it as sacred because it in and of itself is the divine, or whether you think of it as sacred because it's been created by the divine. Either way, it's sacred, which invites us to move through our life with an energy of sacredness. That whomever we meet, whatever we see, whatever we walk upon is sacred. The ground is sacred. The path is sacred. Those along the path with us are sacred. We, walking the path, are sacred. So it's a very beautiful truth and a very beautiful way of moving through the world.